Antoinette. Antoinette, welcome.
Free Willy.
Wait, let's...
He's bigger than me.
Wait. Antoinette, how do you fit into all of this? If you want to hear Antoinette's story, let's pipe down just a bit so we can hear this. Go on, Antoinette. How do you fit into this picture?
Well, at first, me and Rosalyn was friends.
I was never your friend.
Until she slept with my godmother's husband.
Your godmother's husband?
Don't say dumb now.
Rosalyn, let's get one story out at a time. We'll let you have a rebuttal, but we want to know who Antoinette is and how she fits into this picture. So how did you fit in the picture with Emmett?
I met Emmett after he came back.
What'd you say?
I met Emmett after he came home from being locked up. We was friends. We still are friends.
Who?
Emmett and her friends.
Oh.
Were you one of the women on Christmas Day?
No.
What day were you?
Every other day, probably. Every other day, probably.
So, Rosalyn, who is this woman to you?
First of all, I lived across the street from her. All right, that is a apartment complex, and she lived across the way. All right, I have never been her friend. She's always okay. The man that she's talking about used to come on to me and hit on me and all of this, and I told him that he was ugly. Get the hell out of my face. I want nothing to do with you. But he still proceeded to pursue it. He went and somehow somebody got out that I slept with him. Why would I sleep with something?
I don't know. Get back to Antoinette.
Something that you should be with.
So you want to say what to Antoinette, who slept with your man?
I have nothing to say because they deserve each other. I have nothing to say. Because she want him, you want him, you can keep him.
Because I don't want you want to marry her. How long have you been? Look at all these women up here that you've been messing with.
This is nothing.
How long have you been doing this?
At first, right, I said I want to marry her, right? But when I said that, then I changed and said I'm not serious. I don't want no serious relationship right now. Only thing I want is my little freedom.
No, he want a roof over his head, food in his mouth. He ain't worked for 6 months.
Every day I got paid.
After you got out of prison or before you went in there?
All my money went to you though. I took care of home.
When?
I took care of home.
What you was doing?
Hey, your husband left you for a white woman. Your husband left for a white woman. And not only that, I helped you.
When?
Nobody helped you.
When did you help me?
Okay, what else?
6 months.
What
A
else?
question for Michelle. Yes.
Right. I have a quick comment. Rosalind, I have a very easy solution. What you do is get Michelle and Emmett together on the next holiday in your house. Let them have round 2. You charge admission instead of him. And what you do is look at him, smile, and say, "Sweetie, don't worry, I'll be at your funeral."
There you go. That's one solution. What do you do for a living, Emmett? That's the question here.
So what now?
What do you do for a living?
No.
I'm a kitchen manager at Ponderosa Steakhouse.
He just got here a week ago.
He just got
I got a question for you. Emmett.
No, I don't.
Excuse me.
No, I don't.
Excuse me. Hello? I'm here.
Hello.
Emmett, I got a question for
Yes,
you,
sir.
dear. All this sex you having, are you using condoms, dear?
No,
Are you just a walking AIDS machine?
One of my girlfriends pregnant.
You're not using
Wait a minute.
condoms?
And I wish she wouldn't come on the show because
And you
her husband
letting
beat her
him
up.
come home and sleep with you, girlfriend, and he been up in everything
That's
else
why you got another-
unprotected? Aren't
That's
you
why
worried
you got
about
another girl
STDs?
pregnant.
Aren't you worried about
Okay.
AIDS?
Yes, I am. I
HIV?
do wear a condom.
Hello?
Okay.
Not all the
I do wear a condom.
Not all the time.
But there's one girl, right? There's one girl. She supposed to be having baby, but she don't know if it's mine or
Yes,
2 other
she do.
guys.
She knows
No, she don't.
She knows who
Excuse
he
me.
is.
He's saying that he was eating her, and after that, you mean to tell me you sitting there still kissing her? That means you eating her too at the same time.
That will be edited. You will never hear that on TV, okay? Y'all got to remember these names, too. Michelle, Rosalyn, Donna, Emmett, Antoinette.
Rosalyn, I think really what your problem is that you have low self-esteem about yourself.
Yeah.
You got to bring your self-esteem up
I don't
and
think
get that
very
piece of
much
garbage
of
out of your
myself
house.
because I have
Because
a
the only
person like
person
that
in
who I
this
let
life
bring it
that
down.
comes first is Rosalyn. Not this piece of trash.
Oh.
Get that self-esteem, honey.
Rosalyn, I think that you are too sweet and too nice to be with a piece of trash like that. You are too classy, Michelle. You do not deserve that nonsense. Y'all need to get him out.
Excuse me. I just want to say, brother, what is wrong? Excuse me, if you're giving him money, get him a new wardrobe and a nice haircut. And kick him out in the street. All right? You're not about a little dirty, okay? All right?